Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. With that, it's time for the AFC Championship. And to call the action, as they have all year, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the New York Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Two tights.
320. Wait, 20. Hey, go 66. 53's the mic. 72.
Jam him.
72. Shadow.
Watch safety creep.
Yeah.
On the ground, the first carry for Ryan Matthews. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Wait, 20.
Now Brady throwing on second down.
Check.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Double tight. Hey, set. Hey, we got four.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And room there to work it inside the 25. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
In your face. Tight left. Hey, boys, we got four down.
Hey, set. Black 5. Left.
81. Show it up.
They'll go again with Bell. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Got double tight.
Set.
Four down.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
Tight end's right.
Here we go. Two.
Hey.
Two.
We got three. Three down.
Monday. Quarter.
Check 49.
Now Ben on third and long.
Yes.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
Check 26.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And that hits the right upright but goes in anyway. Oh, friendly bounce there that could have gone either way easily, but he gets it to go. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Jets. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Run! I got him! Not today, baby, not today.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
We got trips over here. That's overload.
Now a play fake. Brady. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off, William Gay. Then he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Six yards here to go for the offense on second down.
Strong right. Let's go.
Middle.
Shift.
Get him bounce.
Say.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger.
Fresno.
Man open left side is Brown. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
That's the way to hit.
And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Under 10.
They begin the drive with Ryan Matthews. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Alert!
You got three. Three down. Three down. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taking it about the 36. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Here we go, here we go. Tight right, tight right.
Let's go, let's go.
Odd,
180.
odd. 5 down, 5 down. Stand up in.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
65.
Ready? 180. Check 4.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Kill, turn up.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is. Oh, that really would have been something to see, but he's denied by the framework.
Do you remember seeing David Akers in Green Bay a few years ago on opening day? He had a 63-yard in the half, hit the crossbar, and go over. So sometimes it works for you, and sometimes it works against you.
And this time, it's against. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Ryan Matthews. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Wait, 20.
3 down, 3 down.
Wait, 20. Alert. Shadow.
Motion, watch 10, watch 10.
50 count.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out.
Watch the shift. Watch the shift. Hey, watch the shift. Watch the shift. Two tights.
Start fast. Let's go.
Alert,
Wait,
fast.
20. 35. Ozzy. Check it.
Check 3.
20. Alert. Alert. Wait, 20.
Rush in.
Wait. 53.
Switch.
Orange.
The play clock's running down. The first carry for Elijah McGuire. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down. Maybe a little sign of life here offensively, Charles. They get their first down. They didn't have any in quarter number one.
And I think what we're seeing is great evidence of good scouting by both teams, right? Understanding what they like to do, their best plays, try and take those away early. So now we're seeing some adjustments, and they end up getting their first down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Wait! You go. Wait, 20! 53! Wait!
They'll run with McGuire. And some room to roam now. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. A 23-yard run. And the Jets have made this a one-score game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Strong right. Strong right. We got 4.
Set! We got 5.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Tight end's Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo.
Set! Blue 30!
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Set! Blue 30!
4 down. Check. 4 down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Set!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right. Move.
Here we go.
3 down.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. Roethlisberger finding Rodgers, and the Steelers convert on 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
You got time.
Black fire!
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Stopped short of the 25, but that 2nd effort got him a couple extra. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you. Here we go.
Again, it's Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And tough starting field position here.
We got it. 83's away. Let's go on. No, 66.
The handoff left. It's Ryan Matthews. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
3 down.
Wait, 20. Ozzy.
Switch.
Regular.
Patch it.
Hit.
Check it, hot read.
Wait.
Check 13.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this.
98. 98
Check
tonight.
it.
I got you.
Wait, 20.
Check.
72.
Check.
Wait, 20.
Now McGuire.
Alert 3.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Hey.
Wait, 20. Easy.
Brady now on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Blue 20.
Brady to throw on second down. James Harrison in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Wait, 20.
Check the backer.
Hit. 3 down, these 2.
Check.
Alert.
Hot.
Brady going to throw.
Wide.
He's going to float this one deep right side.
No.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll bring up second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He's coming. We got double up.
Jack 16.
Check safety.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And he's got his man on the out route. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Even. 4 down.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's got Greg here, the tight end. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Chris Gregg, 68 yards. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
James has got it, complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
Tight end left. Set.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Here we go.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Left coming. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take
Mike
you
20.
to school.
Mike 20.
Mike's 50. Mike's
Rip.
50.
53's
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Buying time to his left. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
That's it.
So we come upon halftime in the 8th. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 93 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
On the carry, this is McGuire. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you can dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Be good.
Wait, 20. Wait, 20.
Watch 98. Watch 98.
On 2nd down, here's Brady.
I got one.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Watch 18. Watch 18.
Blue 20.
Single.
White 55.
Single.
White 27.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Ardarius Stewart there. And it's 2nd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Back.
Wait, 20.
98. Watch
53.
98. 98's the mic.
Ozzy.
Screen.
Ozzy.
Pass. Check.
Wait, 20. 51. Alert.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. On play action, now Brady. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
We've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Here we go. 4 down. Alert.
Double, double. Quarter.
Check. Crunch.
Alert. No
Crunch.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. This will be caught by Brown. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one that we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey, guys, check me out.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's got some. And he loses the football a second time. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Solo out there. Check the outs out there.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
2 times. Alert. 3 down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
4 down.
Hurry up, let's go.
Big. Check 24.
Like I said.
Kill.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And an alley to run. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Double tight. Odd on. 5 down. Stand
50.
up in. Shift. Watch the shift.
Kings.
Slam.
Easy.
Switch.
First carry for James Conner. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Odd on.
Quarter.
5 down. Stand up in.
Heat these 2.
Watch out.
They stay on the ground. Here's Conner again. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Double tight.
Let's go.
Easy.
Left.
You got 4. Check. Lucky.
Middle. Heat these 2.
Shift.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Double tight. 4 down, 4 down. Check, 4 down, 4 down.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So following the penalty, now 1st and 5.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down.
Bell. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Run. Woo! Yeah, baby, yeah.
And this seemingly endless drive continues.
Strong right, strong right, strong right.
Set. Blue 30.
4 down.
These two. 98's Mike.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
These two.
Crash.
Hey.
Hey, watch the edge, watch the edge.
This is Bell. And he's got this one down to the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Kings.
Watch safety creep, watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Black, it's on.
Now Bell. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
And a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
And this one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pick up there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it's 3rd and short. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
Alert! Show it
20!
Now Ryan Matthews on 3rd down. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. The job one to pick up the first down is complete. That was a big third down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a two-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the first down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
He was trying to find Ardarius Stewart, and that'll bring up second down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. Put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. Third down here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Jets on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Wait, 20. Blue 20.
From the gun, it's Brady.
Check 26, check 26.
And that will be incomplete as well.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ryan Shazier in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Hey, we got
Focus.
four down. Check 52.
They'll run it with Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14. Now Roethlisberger to throw.
Here we go.
And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
New York set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Throwing now is Brady. Forced out to his left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the veteran James Harrison. And a great return here gets us one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Set! 180!
Here's Bell. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
Yeah,
It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, baby.
Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this.
Let's go, let's go. 180!
They give to Bell. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Set! 180!
They'll pitch it out to Bell.
Curl, watch the curl, watch the curl!
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they recover the fumble in plus position, but they can't go anywhere. In fact, they go backwards, but they do get a field goal out of it.
They'll take the 3, but in a lot of ways, they feel like they let themselves down by not capitalizing, and they definitely let the defense down for getting the key turnover.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Here we go.
The give is to Bell. And a short gain here down to the 22. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Black.
They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. Really a great season. Not a whole lot to hang their head.